guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shelby, this is Carly. We are going to be telling you guys some crazy stories about our customer service experiences, and in this video we are going to tell you guys about some drug deals that that I saw. I saw a drug deal happen, and then
I've dealt with some crackheads.
Yeah, she's dealt with some crackheads, I've dealt with some crackheads, so that's what this video is going to be all about drugs. So first, I'm going to tell you guys the story about the time I watched a drug deal, and then Carly's going to tell you guys a crackhead story, and then I'm going to tell you guys a crackhead story. So yeah, so the time I watched a drug deal happen was back when I was 14 years old, so I was pretty young, it's like 4 years ago, when I was working at a snow shack. So I was working at a snow shack that was actually in the parking lot of the Subway that I ended up working at later.
Oh,
So that's pretty small world, right? So I was working at this snow shack, and this snow shack didn't really get a lot of business, mainly because like the year before when I didn't work at the snow shack, the boss kind of forgot to add sugar to the concentrate, and so he just was serving sour snow cones for the whole summer, so he lost a lot of business. So this so this snow shack was really slow, and also my boss there was like crazy, like he shorted me $140 one time on my paycheck, like, so oh gosh, I could go on and on about like crazy things that had happened. So but this is about the drug deal. Okay, so I'm like sitting, I'm like probably singing or something, and like on my phone, like, you know, like doing some karaoke, like all the windows closed. I'm like locked in the shack because I'm like young and afraid, and so I'm like locked in the shack, sitting on the counter because there's no chairs. That's like irrelevant. Anyways, so I'm sitting, and I like see this car pull up, and I'm like, yay, a customer! It's been all day, like, woohoo! I'm thinking that there's gonna be a customer, so I like hurry and put my phone away, and I like get my gloves on, and I'm like, I'm ready to go. So I'm like getting ready to like help this customer, and then like they don't come in, and I'm like, oh, so like the way that the snow shack was set, like it was like right here. I don't know. Say this is the snow shack, okay? This is the snow shack, and the person was parked like right here. So they were right by the snow shack, okay? And then the gas station that has like the Subway in it is like down here. So like I knew they weren't going to the gas station because why would they park like right by the snow shack, right? So I like waited because I was thinking, well, maybe they're just like being slow, like maybe they're just gonna come get a snow cone in a minute. Well then, like, no joke, 15 minutes passed, and I was like, okay, these people are definitely not coming to get a snow cone. At this point I was like just getting back on my phone and stuff because I was like, whatever, they're not coming to get a snow cone. And then all of a sudden, like, another 5 minutes passed, so it was probably like 20 minutes altogether that this person was just sitting in their car. And I should have known that like something was weird, like that should have been a red flag that they were literally sitting in their car in front of the snow shack for 15 minutes, but like my stupid ass just kept watching them.
Was it during the day, or
yeah, it was during the day.
Oh,
it was during the day, and like, yeah, so that's why I just thought they were coming to get a snow cone, you know, like summertime. So then all of a sudden I see this other car pull up like right next to them, and I'm like, oh yay, a customer! Like, woohoo, maybe this person's actually gonna get a snow cone. And then like they pull up, another like few minutes pass, and they don't get out of the car. I'm like, oh my gosh, like my business, like there is none, like there's no business, like someone come get a snow cone. Well then I like decide to start watching the cars because I'm like, okay, these people are acting like really suspicious. So as you guys know, like this is a story about a drug deal, so I'm sure you can tell where this story is going. So anyways, this first car that pulled up was like a white car, and then like the other car that pulled up was a black car. So here's the snow shack, here's the white car, well, here's the white car, I guess, and then the black car pulled on like this side of them. So then I'm like trying to watch, but it's like kind of hard, you know, because like the black car's here and the white car's here, and then like I see, and all of a sudden I see like the white car person like roll down their window, and they like have this paper bag that's like folded up, and they hand it to the person in the black car, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is going on? And then I see the person from the black car that's like in the passenger seat, they hand the person in the white car an even bigger paper bag, and they give it to them, and they like roll their window up as fast as they can, and then the person in the black car rolls their window up, and then all of a sudden the person in the white car speeds off, and then the person in the black car speeds off the other direction.
Oh my gosh. Crackhead at Taco Bell, okay? So this guy, I'm sure you guys know, you can just tell when someone's, you know, whacked out on something, they're acting real weird, can't stop moving, they're like, okay, like, calm down.
Yeah, you can. Calm.
So I was like, this was, if you've watched, like, the previous video, we talked about Bob. Bob's cool. He was, like, one of my bosses at, Taco Bell. And he was really funny, okay? And, like, he's just really funny. As I said, in, like, if you watched previous videos, like, I worked with a lot of my friends, and, like, we were really close, and, like, we always had, like, a really good time at work, and, like, we were always, like, goofing off and, like, just doing stupid shit, you know, and, like, talking and laughing. Like, we were, you know, it's not like we were, like, not doing our job or anything, but we were just, like, talking and stuff, and I was doing the front order, so anyone that would come inside, I would take their order and kind of just, you know, and, like, I would hand out their food for them. So we were just all, you know, like, talking and stuff, and I was helping up front, and this guy comes in, and he's just, you know, acting weird and, like, being all fidgety and stuff, and, like, I could barely understand what he was saying either. Like, so he comes in, and I don't even remember, like, what he was, like, ordering, but he ordered, and after I'd taken his order, he was just kind of standing in lobby, and, like, me and my friends were just, like, talking and, like, laughing and stuff like that, and for some reason, he thought that we were laughing at him or something. Looked over, and he was literally, like, saying like this, and he was like, pfft, and he was, like, shaking his head, and I was like, I literally, like, didn't give an F. I was just, like, literally, like, looking at him, like, while I was talking about him. I'm like, do you see this guy? Like, he's literally, like, making fun of us or something. Like, I don't know what's going on. At Taco Bell, we have this huge, like, massive sink. It is, like, I don't even know how many gallons it is, but it rotates all the dishes and stuff. And I was, like, I would always do the dishes. Like, if I had free time, especially if you're on front, like, you're supposed to be doing dishes as well. And so, like, when there's no one in front, like, we'd be doing dishes or whatever, and we had, like, these, I guess, like, Cambros of, like, beans, and people would leave leftover, like, refried beans in these, and then just throw it in this big-ass tub of water, and then it would get all the water dirty, and it would just piss me off so bad, because then there's no point, like, the dishes aren't getting clean, obviously. And so I just, like, was in the back, and I was like, if one of you put another Cambro full of beans in this freaking sink, I'm going to just murder you. And I was just going off, you know, and, like, we weren't, like, being, like, actually mean. Like, this is how we acted at work, you know. And Bob was laughing, and I was like, and, like, everyone was, like, teasing me and was, like, trying to, like, throw stuff in there that was dirty, and I was like, stop, and I was, like, blocking them. I was like, rinse that shit off first. I was like, Bob, and I was like, you tell them right now that if they put another freaking bean Cambro in there, that they're gonna be fired. And he goes, yeah, you're all gonna be fired. And he was like, follow Karlie's rules. Like, he was so chill, and he just loved me. And the crackhead that was sitting out in lobby was literally mad that we were yelling, and he came up to the counter to me because I was, like, taking someone else's order, and I was kind of just standing there afterwards, and he comes up to me and he's like, you know, it's really disrespectful that you treat your co-workers like that. And I was like, what? So I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, you're just in the back yelling at him, telling him what to do and this and that. And I was like, what is going on? And, like, Bob, like, saw that, like, there was, like, conflict going on between me and this guy, and I was literally laughing. I could not help but, like, laugh. He's like, oh yeah, you think it's so funny, and he was like, you being rude to people and disrespecting people, and he's like, you're disrespecting me. And I was like, I am not, sir. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I went over to Bob, and I was like, dude. And he's like, what? I'm like, this freaking guy's, like, yelling at me because I came back here and was joking around with you guys about the beans. And he was like, what? The guy, like, kind of, like, gets closer to me, like by the counter, and I'm kind of, like, backing away. I'm like, dude, like, don't come near me. Like, what are you doing?
Back up.
And Bob saw this, and he was kind of like, hey, like, and he was like, what's going on? And, like, he was, like, trying to, like, get into this conversation too, and he's like, what's going on? And he's like, you're letting these employees disrespect each other, and you're disrespecting them. And he's like, this place is just a mess. And he was just going off on this tangent about us yelling and, like, just joking around. And Bob literally goes, it was nothing, like, personal. Like, we're just joking. Like, that's how we work. And, like, it was just so, like, dumb. And that's basically it. But he was just being crazy for no reason. And we all just thought it was super funny. But
okay, so the last crazy drug story we're gonna tell you is, I think these people were on drugs, or maybe, like, they smoked too much weed, but either way, like, they're high on something. So I'm working with my lovely coworker Abby. Abby, if you're watching this, I hope you don't mind that I'm telling a story about you. Like, hopefully she doesn't care. So anyways, I was working with my friend Abby, who's like my coworker and my friend, and we were just working like it was a normal, this was when I worked at Subway, by the way, so this was just like a normal like day at Subway. So I think we were like done with everything, and we were just kind of hanging out, like there hadn't been any customers for a while, and then like these two guys walk in, and it was kind of the point where like, yay, like customers, like it's been so slow that we like wanted customers. They come in, their eyes are open this wide, and we're like, hi, what can we get you? And they're like, can we get 2 footlongs on white bread? And we're like, yes, you can. And like, can we get like ham and like what kind of cheese do you have? And we're like, the sign's like right there, like provolone, you know, like Swiss, like pepper jack, whatever. And that it's like we're staring at us, like they're just like staring at the cheese. Can we get provolone? We're like
they were just so out of it.
Do you guys have onions? And we're like, your sandwiches are in the toaster. Like, we haven't even asked you for veggies yet.
That's sus.
Like, they kept asking about everything. They're like, do you have tomatoes? And then we like go to ring them up, and we're like, okay, your total is like, how much is like 2 ham sandwiches? I don't even know if that's what they got. Okay, we're like, your total's like $14, okay? And they're like, oh, we left our wallets in the car. We'll be right back. And they like almost start taking the sandwiches, and we like put our hands on the sandwiches, like say like you're them, okay? Pretend you're like taking the sandwiches. We're like, okay. Like we like put our hands on the sandwiches. We're like, okay, we'll put these right here until you come back to pay for them. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll be right back. 10 minutes passed, and I was like, are they coming back? And I'm like, I don't know, dude, like they were acting hella weird. So Abby's like, go look if you can like see them. So I like went into the gas station part, like, and I went behind the counter like to look out the window, and I see them like in their car, and they're like digging through all this stuff. Like they're just like opening things and like digging through things, and then I like see them get out and like start coming back in. So I go back over to the Subway, and they come in, and they're like, yeah, we don't have any money. And I was like,
okay, well, you're not getting your sandwiches. Have a nice day.
Yeah, and they're like, do you guys have any like coupons for free sandwiches? And we're like, me and Abby are like,
that's so annoying when people ask, are there any coupons that I can use?
Oh my gosh, no, like, you have to pay for your sandwiches. And they're like, well, how much is it again? We're like, 14, whatever. And they're like, yeah, we can't pay. And then they just leave.
Oh
and we're like, okay. So then Abby's like, Shelby, they're acting like really weird. I'm like, yeah, they're definitely high on something. I go back over to the gas station, and I look out the window again, and they like start like trying to back their car, and like, okay, where they were parked, like they literally almost hit my mom's car, which was parked next to them, and she wasn't even like parked in like a spot where they should have been able to hit her. Like the way that they were driving was so abnormal to the point where they almost rear-ended a car next to them. Like, I don't even know how that happens. So Abby then decides to call like the non-emergency like police hotline, like, you know, like the number that's not like 911, but like you can still report like things like that. So she decides to call like the non-emergency hotline, and she like tells them like, I don't know if like this is like something you guys need to check out, but there's these guys, like we're pretty sure they're driving like intoxicated or high, like they're like hitting cars in our gas station parking lot, like they came into Subway and like they got sandwiches but they didn't have money for them, and they're just acting really weird. And then the person on the other line was like, yeah, that's definitely something we should look out, because like if they're driving crazy in the parking lot, like they're gonna be driving crazy on the roads. I want to say, like, if I'm remembering correctly, that they pulled them over and they were like intoxicated and they were high, and they had to end up like going to like, I don't know if they went to jail or what.
Did you watch them get arrested?
No, because they were already gone, but they said that they like found them and that they were high. Like they were on something, like I don't remember exactly what, but like they were driving like crazy. Like they were literally like being like, what's the word? Like they were endangering other people like on the roads basically. So that is 3 crazy stories that have to do with working in fast food and drugs. We hope you guys enjoyed the video, and comment down below if you want to see us make more videos like this. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye! Peace out!